For the SE channel. Thank you for tuning in, and please subscribe and share as much as you can, and share, okay? Because we've been saying this for the past, I would say, I don't know, last maybe couple of years, that people in the conservative world, that obviously the Google, YouTube have been censoring conservatives or conservative thoughts, or even independent newsmakers like myself, and this is a lawyer representing Google, okay? And we have actually a great man. I mean, this guy is his name is Clay Higgins. He's an American Republican politician. Also, he's also the Reserve Law Enforcement Officer in Louisiana, and he's talking to this lawyer. That's one of the headlines actually in C-SPAN, by the way. Now let's just hear what's going on, because I know Project Veritas just came out with one of their videos that you have to watch, about an insider that says that there's a list of hundreds of names of companies and YouTube channels that are being censored. Obviously the InfoWars of the world and so on. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'd love to get that list. Maybe I'm in it. But anyways, we have Clay Higgins, actually schooling Google and talking about free speech and censoring conservatives. And we're talking about, I think it was the date, if I'm not mistaken, said June 26th. June 26th. Now the question is, are they telling the truth or not? I mean, you guys decide. But one thing I know is that there's some censoring going on here. I know for a fact, like for myself, my opinion, it's been happening to many of the channels that I've been looking at. They're all saying the same thing. That they're being censored. But anyways, here we go. So let's just start. Okay?
Thank you, Chair. Recognize the gentleman from Louisiana for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Slater, are you ready?
Yes.
Get your scripted answers ready, sir. Google and YouTube are developing quite a poor reputation in our nation. Clear history of repetitively silencing and banning voices. Conservatives or liberal doesn't concern me right now. We're talking about freedom of speech and access to open communications. We're here today to discuss extremist content, violent threats, terrorist recruiting tactics, and instigation of violence to get the same justification your platform uses to quell true extremism is often used to silence and restrict the voices that you disagree with. We don't like it. For example, Prager University, a series of 5-minute videos which
is right.
discuss political issues, religion, economic topics from a conservative perspective, has had over 50 of their videos restricted. Some of their restricted videos include why America must lead. Perhaps that's a question should be directed to the mirror. America leads because of our stance for freedom, for all voices to be heard. The 10 Commandments, do not murder, video pulled by your people. What's wrong with the 10 Commandments, might I ask?
Yep.
Why did America fight the Korean War? A legitimate reflection on a significant part of the history of our nation.
Pulled out.
Additionally, YouTube removed a video from Project Veritas, which appears to show a senior Google executive acknowledging politically motivated search manipulation with an intent to influence election outcomes. None of us here want that on either side of this aisle. I don't know a man or woman present that's not a true patriot and love their country. We have varying ideological perspectives, yes, but we love our country.
Amen.
And we'll stand
Amen.
for freedom, including against Google.
Knows,
a frequent reason provided by YouTube is that the content in question harmed the broader community. What could be more harmful than the broader community than the restriction of our free speech and open communications, regardless of our ideological stance. Please define for America, what do you mean by harmed the broader community as it's used to justify restricting the content on Google or YouTube, and point out as harm limited to physical threats and the incitement of violence, as it should be, or is it a convenient justification to restrict the content that you deem needs to be restricted? Please explain to America how you determine what is harmed the broader community. What does that mean? Let's have your scripted answer.
Congressman, thank you for the question. I appreciate the concern and the desire to foster robust debate. We want YouTube to be a place where everyone can share their voice and get a view of the world.
But you don't allow everyone to share their voice. I've given examples in my brief time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for recognizing my time. The First Amendment protects Americans' right to express their viewpoints online. Is something that offends an individual or something an individual agrees with, does that meet your company's definition of extreme?
We have community guidelines that lay out the rules of the road about what is not permitted on the platform, including incitement to violence, hate speech, harassment, and so on. If you can clarify what you're asking about specifically, I'd be happy to try and answer.
Yeah.
Mr. Slater, God bless you, sir. Google's in a bind. Today, America is watching. Today, America is taking a step back. We're looking at the services, we're looking at the platforms that we use, and we're finding, to our horror, that they can't be trusted. Today, America is looking carefully at Google, and a word reverberates through the minds of America. Freedom. Shall it
This guy knows what he's talking about.
be protected? Shall it be preserved? Or shall it be persecuted and subject to the will and whim of massive tech companies? Mr. Chairman, thank you for recognizing my time, and I yield the balance. Thank you for holding this.
Well, my name is Sam Zurza for the SE channel. Thank you for tuning in, and please subscribe and share as much as you can. Okay, we got to tell the truth. That's it. That's what we're doing. Look, this is congressional hearing on what's going on. Take care. God bless. Okay.